do the sex.
Today's Masturbation Monday topic is the top 10 most common kinks. We are halfway through Kinktober, and you might be surprised to find out that what gets you off isn't all that uncommon. From the mild to the wild, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on the top 10 most common kinks, and I'm going to be spicing it up with a little science-backed research. Hold on to your floggers because I'll be dropping some fun, funny, and sometimes jaw-dropping facts along the way. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what makes people tick in the bedroom. Cheers. Okay, let's dive in. The most common kink is BDSM, which should be no surprise to anyone. It stands for bondage, dominance, discipline, submission, sadism, and masochism, or any combination of the above. One of the most popular kinks, BDSM, is all about trust, control, and play. And research shows that about 47% of people have fantasized about being tied up. Little surprising fun fact, research shows that BDSM practitioners actually have lower levels of stress and better communication skills than their vanilla counterparts. Perhaps all of those safe words are paying off. Another kink or fetish that ranks in our top 10 most common kinks is the foot fetish. It is a foot-related desire that many people have. In fact, 1 in 7 people admit to having some level of foot-related desire. And about 10% of the population indulges in some form of foot fetishism. Interestingly, according to neuroscientists, the areas in our brain that control our feet and our sexual desire are located right next to each other. Is it a coincidence? I think not. No wonder so many people find those toes irresistible. Third on my list of the top 10 most popular kinks is cuckolding. And cuckolding is actually a topic that many of you, my dear listeners, ask me about. One of the most taboo but common kinks, cuckolding, involves watching your partner with someone else. About 58% of men and 33% of women have fantasized about it. What's really wild is that there are several studies that show that participating in cuckolding actually strengthens relationships by deepening trust and improving communication skills between couples. So I guess as it turns out, the green-eyed monster isn't as scary and awful as we've all thought. Another super common kink is exhibitionism, which is enjoying being watched while being intimate or having sex or doing sexy sexual things. Around 35% of people admit to enjoying and getting off on being watched while doing the dirty. Not so surprising is that the research shows that exhibitionism is actually far more common among men than women. But here's a fun fact. Exhibitionists have been found to have higher self-esteem and higher levels of confidence, and they are more likely to pursue leadership roles in the workplace. So perhaps flashing isn't just about thrill-seeking. It's about wanting to own the spotlight. Now, another common kink that is often misunderstood is being a furry, or the furry community, or furries, if you will. Furries are people who are into anthropomorphic animal costumes. Now, it may sound niche, but research shows that over 30% of people admit to fantasizing about being a furry at some point in time. A 2019 survey found that while only 15 to 25% of people are into it for sexual stuff, the community itself is thriving. According to members of the furries who participated in these surveys, it's less about getting frisky in a fox costume and more about fantasy and community and role-playing. Think of it as a Comic-Con with an animal twist, if you will. Grr. The sixth kink on my list is actually relatively new to me. It's called splashing, and it's all about wet and messy play. Splashing is exactly what the name sounds like. It's all about covering oneself or somebody else in food or liquid or basically anything messy. Think of whipped cream, chocolate syrup, or jello. Shockingly, splashing taps into the senses in a really primal way. And research on sensory play shows that getting messy activates both pleasure and creativity. And let's be honest, who doesn't like playing with their food every now and again? Coming in at number 7 on my list of the top 10 most common kinks is sensory deprivation. A sensory deprivation kink can include anything like blindfolds, earplugs, or anything that deprives the senses and heightens sensation. And in this heightened sensation, sex can become even more intense. Over 40% of people enjoy or are into or desire some sort of sensory deprivation during their intimate encounters. What's a little bit surprising is that sensory deprivation has actually been shown to increase the release of dopamine in the brain, which is the same feel-good chemical that's released when you're eating chocolate, or you win a prize, or you swipe right on that hot match you are hoping to make. Another slightly surprising but very common kink is medical play. This kink involves role-playing scenes that mimic medical procedures or exams. And while it may seem unusual, it's more about the power play and vulnerability than it is about actually playing doctor. Research has shown that people who participate in medical play oftentimes do it to relinquish control and to feel taken care of, albeit in a very intimate kind of setting. Another kink that is very, very intimate is age play. Now, if you want a full inside look at age play and why people participate in it, I have a full podcast episode on it with an expert in the area, Miss Chris, and I'll make sure to include that in the links below this episode. But contrary to popular belief, age play doesn't always include sexual activity. Some people just enjoy dressing up or acting like a younger version of themselves. And then on the other side of things, there are people who want to take on a nurturing role. It's not about actual children. It's about regressing to a more carefree or innocent frame of mind, or taking on the role and mindset of a caregiver, which can be especially common for people who are unable to have children or who just haven't had the opportunity to be in a caregiver role. According to research, many couples actually feel closer and more bonded after participating in this kind of role reversal because it allows them to be vulnerable with each other in a new and different kind of way. And finally, coming in at number 10, the last kink on my list of the top 10 most common kinks is the balloon fetish or looners. Yes, you heard it right. There are some people who are just really, really, really into balloons. Known as looners, these individuals find balloons to be a great source of arousal. For some, it's the excitement of blowing up the balloons. For others, it is the suspense of them popping that turns them on. But research shows that it's the unpredictability of balloons that people find exciting and arousing. And hey, with 7.5 billion people on the earth, it's nice to know that there's a kink for everyone, even people who love balloons. Kinks are diverse, quirky, and more common than most people realize. Our desires are as unique as we are, and science backs up the fact that expressing them in a healthy, consensual way is good for both our mental and physical health. So whether you are into BDSM or balloons, foot fetishes or furries, know that you are not alone in your desires and that there is likely some research out there to back up why you are into what you are into. If you're looking to explore your kinks or your desires in depth, or you're just trying to figure out how to make them become a reality or what to do with them in general, feel free to reach out to me. My intimacy coaching books are open and I have a spot available and waiting for you. You can find out more about that at talksexwithanet.com. You can reach out to me via email at annette@talksexwithanet.com. You can scroll down and click on the speak pipe below and get a hold of me that way, or you can drop a comment below this podcast episode. If you are on my YouTube channel, which is at talk sex with Annette, you will be able to drop a comment below the video. Otherwise, feel free to reach out in one of the many other ways I just listed. You got another week and a half left of Kinktober. Make the most of it. Go buy some balloons, pop them, see how you feel, then report back. Let me know how it goes. Until next time, I'll see you in the locker room. Cheers.